I got another box, another big box. And today we're going to be unboxing and reviewing the Razer Laptop Cooler, recently released in January. I think we should open this thing up and check it out. I have the laptop cooler. So as you can see, this is kind of the design that it has. Kind of a square, it's all plastic. Specifically right here is where you would kind of do some adjustments, but depending on which type of laptop you have. It also comes with the magnetic folds right here. So this just kind of applies on, snaps right on, and it doesn't really fall. In the back here, you can kind of see that there's some USB ports. And then this is the connector for it, and here are the grates, right? So as you can see right here, there's not really a lot of different ways to be able to adjust it. So it's just kind of all in one piece, right? Yeah, it's not bad. I think that the plastic bit is not too crazy. It's not too crazy of a premium design. It's not aluminum for any means whatsoever. But as you can see right here, there is not really anything unique with it. It's just all black. It just kind of has the Razer logo, but when it does get plugged in and it lights up, it's really nice. It's got kind of like a large PC style fan if you were to kind of just use this, but let's just keep going with that. So the cooling performance on this thing though, the cooling performance is actually one of the most impressive thing about this. So I tested it on my ASUS ROG Zephyrus M16. It's a 2023. It has a 13th gen Intel and RTX 40 series GPU. The laptop I use likes to run really hot, and so cooling it is very nice. But here are kind of the performance stats that I ran when I was running Baldur's Gate 3 on ultra settings. And whenever I play that game, my PC just tends to go really hot. There's kind of a lot to go with, but at the same time, it wasn't breaking my PC, so I felt like it was a fair game. So to start off, in silent mode, I have 3 modes within the laptop. There's silent mode, there's performance, and then there's turbo. So for the sake of this, I only ran silent and I only ran turbo because those are the two, the smallest and the highest, to kind of compare. In silent mode on my laptop, I ran at 69 to 72 degrees Celsius on my GPU, and that was both being idle and in game. So I was just kind of leaving it on in the background, and then I just, I wasn't actively playing. It would kind of range in between those. On turbo mode without a cooler, so without the Razer cooler, it ended up running at 57 degrees to 62 degrees Celsius. So it kind of ranged between 5 points on both ends, 4 to 5, but obviously on silent, it was really high. Now, with the turbo mode and the laptop, I was able to run it at 46 to 51 degrees Celsius, which is a huge drop in turbo mode and Razer cooler. But at this point during the whole review, it was on fire. Like, it was so loud, it felt like a jet turbine was in my room. And I'll try to include a video just showing how loud it could get. Probably not gonna be the best quality, but still, I think it's very impressive with the way that it ran. On silent mode was another thing that was very impressive, because on silent mode, it's not using my laptop fan, but it was using the Razer cooler, and it still maintained a decent temperature at 49 degrees to 53 degrees Celsius. Almost as good as the turbo without the extra fan noise. So I was able to run silently on my laptop, but the laptop cooler was still doing things. But I think it definitely delivered a pretty great cooling experience, and it was significantly dropping and improving the temperatures. If you're using headphones while you're using this, the noise quality, you won't really notice it, but I've noticed with this laptop cooler is that it's definitely made for at-home use, and being with a laptop, you know, you kind of want a little bit more portability. So if you're using this for a LAN party for your laptop, then I say that it's really good. There is something to be said with that, and it's that the noise level is still manageable. I was able to play with Niaz in the same room as I, and we were both playing games, and I wasn't really bothered by it because I was able to pretty much tune out the noise. So it wasn't as loud as being able to talk over another person, but it was still loud. And then the compatibilities of this, it's going to fit whichever laptop you decide to put on there. It came with 3 different magnetic foam seals. The magnetic foam seals were for a little bit of a Razer proprietary, you know, the Razer blades, but then you can go a little bit smaller and then you can go a little bit higher, but it's basically compatible to whatever you would need. And going back to what I was saying about it not being the best in portability, I did not, however, enjoy the plugin for powering this laptop cooler. It's about as big as a brick. It's very, very big. Hold on, give me one sec. This is the connector, right? So here's the thing is that if you have this and if you have this and you're using this, it's going to take up a lot of space. It's going to take up a lot of space on any outlet. And so to be able to even power this thing up, you're going to need one spot. And if you're more than likely using it on a gaming laptop, that's already going to need a spot to be able to plug in with your laptop to be able to charge your laptop. So I don't really enjoy that. I think that it doesn't allow for a lot of portability. And I wish that with just the USB that you have attached to it, because you have to attach it with a specific USB, that this USB would be something that I could just attach to my laptop and just go, you know. It could just, I plug in my laptop to the outlet in the wall, and then I plug in this USB, and it just allows it to run off of that. But that's not the case. You need both to be able to run it. But I mean, at the exact same time, I understand why they needed it, because they need to be able to power up the fan. So totally okay in that right. It does have some RGB lighting effects, and I think that the RGB lighting effects they're decent. I mean, Razer can do a lot with their lighting effects, which they control over the Razer Synapse software. And the software is actually not too bad. I don't like having to have a proprietary software, but I don't mind Razer Synapse. I don't think it's terrible. But what I did like about this is that it could control the RGB lighting. That's the first thing. But it also allowed it so that you can dictate how fast or how slow the RPMs are going for your. So you can dictate it based off of how slow, how fast, but there's also an auto detect feature which allows it to be able to adjust depending on how hard the GPU needs to work. And that's what I mostly used while I was testing out the fan and the cooling, was that I let it go on auto because I let it decide what was the best, and it was pretty good. So I think it was very impressive for what it could do, and it made my laptop not overheat, and it felt really nice to not have it overheat. But obviously I already have my gaming PC, so why would I really need to use it for that? I mean, this comes in at about $130 to $140. Is it worth the price point? You know, I think that if you only have your laptop at home and you only have that specific one, I think this is worth it. I think it's nice. because then it allows for you to have essentially a PC without having to invest in an entire PC. Regardless, if you get a laptop of this size or this magnitude, you might as well just get a PC in the first place, right? But this really helps with the heat. It helps with if you are running something in the background, maybe you need to work on a project or content or whatever you might have, then this would be good to keep it cool. So overall, I think for what it does, it's impressive. Is it worth the price point? Not for me at this moment. I would probably buy it at $100 or less, maybe even less than that, maybe around like 80, but it's not bad. I don't mind it. I would still buy it, and if I only had a laptop, truthfully, that's the best way that I could describe it. But or if you're gonna go to a LAN party with your friends and you want to be able to have your own setup without bringing your whole PC, which I think would also be beneficial. Overall, I think that the only miss that they truly had with this was the way that the AC power works, and maybe the adjustability of the laptop cooler itself. But other than that, it works great. I think it works well, and they do a really good job at showing that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Let me know how I did in the comments section below. If you liked the video, make sure you subscribe for more tech reviews or more content about marketing or insights about how you can improve your channel. I enjoyed this time with you guys, and I hope I see you on the next one. All right, have a good day. Bye-bye.